Hey, it's Loree with the blog wagonwheelhomestead.com. Today I'm going to be showing you how we make our very favorite sourdough buttermilk waffles. They're very simple to make. It's a great way to use up lots of eggs and sourdough discard. And today I'm serving them with a side of our raspberry syrup made with the raspberries from our very own garden, and some eggs and homemade cheese that I made into scrambled eggs. So along with some whipped cream from our Jersey cows. So anyway, I hope this is inspiring to you, and I hope that you enjoy this recipe. If you do, please hit that like and subscribe button and comment below and let us know how you are enjoying these waffles. And thank you for following along with us here as we teach you how to grow a simple and sustainable life. So to a bowl, I add 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and a pinch of salt for the dry ingredients. And sometimes it's nice to even make 2 or 3 batches of these if you have enough sourdough discard in your fridge, because you can freeze these really easily by putting them on a cookie sheet and flash freezing them and then putting them into a freezer bag. Sometimes I even just put them right into the freezer bag and take the whole bag out and let it thaw overnight in the future for really fast breakfasts during our busy season. Then I add 4 eggs. You can also mix these up overnight, which is really nice. So you could mix it up the evening before, just set it out on your counter to ferment overnight, which will give you a lot of extra health benefits from having long fermented sourdough. I just added 4 tablespoons of butter. You can also use beef tallow or coconut oil, it doesn't really matter. And then I typically use buttermilk in this recipe. I was out of buttermilk this particular day, so I am skimming the cream off of a gallon of milk. We milk 2 Jersey cows every day, and so I'm gonna make whipped cream, and then I'm also just gonna pour off some of this milk and just use it straight into the recipe. You can add a little bit of lemon juice or vinegar to your milk if you want it to be like buttermilk, or even regular milk works as well. So I'm adding 2.5 cups of milk or buttermilk. And then 1 to 2 cups of sourdough starter, just however much you have on hand. This is an excellent way to get rid of a lot of sourdough discard out of your fridge. So this is my big sourdough jar. I just keep it in my fridge, and I just pulled it right out, and I'm going to use straight discard. If you don't have discard, you could feed your sourdough 8 to 10 hours before you're going to make this recipe and use active discard. It's very flexible. But anyway, I like to mix this up overnight and let it set, and then the next morning I can just put it right on the preheated waffle iron, and it makes a very fast and easy breakfast. As you know, there are a lot of people that struggle with being able to digest things that are high in gluten, and that is because of the high phytic acid that's in wheat, and it inhibits nutrient absorption and makes it really difficult for your body to digest. So anytime you can make something with sourdough, especially if it's long fermented, it will be much easier for your body to digest. There's a lot of people that cannot eat products that contain gluten, but they can eat things made with sourdough. So that's a big reason to make things with sourdough. You always want to put your waffle batter into a preheated waffle iron. This one is an electric one. You can also use a cast iron waffle iron, and you just put it right on your stove top. It makes exceptionally crisp and beautiful waffles, especially if it's pre-seasoned. Today I am actually making some raspberry syrup, as I mentioned, with the raspberries from our garden, and then making some scrambled eggs. Sometimes I mix them up in a bowl ahead of time, but today I'm being lazy and just dumping them all into my preheated cast iron pan. You always want your cast iron preheated anytime that you cook with it, and you want to use a fair amount of fat. Today I'm using butter when you are making things like scrambled eggs that tend to stick. If your skillets are properly seasoned and they are preheated and you use a decent amount of butter, you're not going to have any problems with your eggs sticking to your skillet. So is just a really fast and easy way to make scrambled eggs. We have so many eggs this time of year that we try to eat eggs almost every day, and of course it's a good protein source as well. And it's best if you can add the salt and seasonings like black pepper to your eggs at the end of cooking them, as that helps them not to stick also. I always like my eggs well seasoned with salt and pepper. To make the raspberry sauce, I just added a little bit of sugar and some cornstarch to the frozen raspberries and cooked them up, and they thickened up really nicely. This is how beautiful and crisp these waffles are. If you want them to stay crisp, you can lay them out on a platter and put them in your oven. If you stack them up on a plate like this, then the top ones will stay crispy and the bottom ones get really soft and fluffy. And I have some people that like them soft and some people that like them crispy, so that works out well for our family. We make all of our own dairy products, including all of our hard cheeses. So here I am grating up some Gouda cheese to put in with our hash browns. Another beautiful waffle. I really like using my cast iron waffle iron, but I only have one, and so it takes a long time for me to make them because it's a smaller iron. So I do like this Belgian waffle maker, and I will put a link to this waffle maker and also the cast iron waffle maker down in the description box below. Adding the cheese to the eggs. You'll want to be sure to check out the blog wagonwheelhomestead.com and search for waffles, and you can find the printable recipe and a lot of extra information about these waffles and how we like to serve them. There's lots of different ways that you can top them. Maple syrup is good, whipped cream, fresh fruit, and they're really good with savory toppings as well. Here I am whipping the cream. I just added a little bit of powdered sugar and a little bit of vanilla, and I'm whipping it. This is my Bosch mixer. I use it almost every day for bread making, and as you can see, whipped cream making here. And now it's time to enjoy these amazing waffles. I am just going to put some fresh butter from our Jersey cows on each waffle, and then some of the raspberry syrup, the whipped cream, and the eggs, and you have an absolutely amazing breakfast. Of all the waffles that we have ever tried over the years, these sourdough waffles are our very favorite, and we like to keep a bunch in the freezer at all times for quick meals. And we also really enjoy the added health benefits because they are made with sourdough. These are the super crispy waffles made in the cast iron pan with a drizzle of maple syrup. So delicious. If you make these waffles, be sure to check the description box for information on how you can follow us on social media and tag us with your wonderful, yummy waffles. See you in the next video.